So the topic is supposed to be pins. So black to play and take advantage of a pin. Seems like we have a pin. They're pinning the knight to our rook, obviously, so that knight probably doesn't want to move anywhere. Although white is not castled, that's interesting. Hmm. You know the pawn here is pinned as well, so I was considering maybe this move, attacking the bishop. Though if they do capture the bishop, you could capture with your knight, and they get to capture your rook. So, and this, of course, is open for anybody to give the answers here. So always want to be thinking about checks, captures, loose pieces. This bishop being loose to me was one of the first things that I noticed. I should be looking at checking moves first, I know, but there's only one checking move and it's terrible. So, but yeah, there's a checking move involved here. I think there's a way that we can attack this bishop in a couple moves, and there's nothing they can do about it. So it's supposed to be about pins, and yeah, there are some pins. That pawn is pinned. You know, they're pinning our knight, so that seems like a problem. Um, but I think the tactic ends up being a fork here. Let's hear from Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle.
Pawn a6. That attacks the bishop.
Yeah.
And if they take our knight, then we would just capture with the pawn. And if they play bishop a4, then pawn b5.
Yeah, I mean, the bishop could just reposition himself. So that would be okay. Yeah, I mean, that does attack the loose piece, definitely. But we want to try to, I mean, in tactics, that's kind of what you're doing is kind of like a brute force attack. It's not really tactical. You're just like, what are you going to do, bishop? You attack him with the pawn. You play pawn to a6. And yeah, the bishop's got to move away. But there's a way that we can set up a fork here. So we can set up a fork that wins this bishop. I think there ends up being a checking move that also attacks that bishop. But we have to play a different move first to force something out of the way so that we can play the checking move. I know we have some really strong minds here, so we should be able to work this out for focused. Go ahead, Kyle.
We can play knight to e4.
Knight to e4. Yeah, that's an interesting move. It seems like it would be okay, other than, I mean, you are dropping this pawn, and you know they're going to be attacking your bishop at the same time, so it seems maybe dangerous. I don't think that's the correct move. I don't think that's what we're looking for. It has to do with, I think it has to do with this pin right here. Because of this pin, we can play a pretty neat move. Um, and they don't have a whole lot of options. And when yeah, yeah, it's just, we're just kind of ripping open the center here at least. Um, I think it's actually pawn to d4. Because if they capture, we get to play queen to a5, check. And how do you defend that? It does. I mean, probably just move your bishop back, attack queen, but then this bishop falls. So let's go ahead and try this. Yeah, exactly. So now we have this loose piece and we have this checking move. This is why you always want to consider all checks, all captures, and all loose pieces. So I saw that pretty early on, that bishop. I was like, that doesn't look safe to me. And now we win the bishop. So we sacrificed our pawn and we picked up that loose bishop. That puzzle was rated at 1836, so class A players, basically. All right, so white to play here once again, and try to use a pin to take some sort of advantage. Trying to exploit a pin. So the knight is semi-loose. That's definitely interesting. Has the same number of attackers as defenders. I don't really see any other loose pieces. Our bishop has two defenders, only one attacker. The rooks are connected on both sides. Seems like black's queen's really the only thing not defend. Oh, black's queen and our bishop are the only things not defended. Sure would be nice to get another attacker on that knight somehow. Although, if we take too long to do it, then they could always just move their knight. Like, they might play knight to G8 or something like that, getting the knight out of the pin and defending the bishop. Not that the bishop needs defended because he's defended by the queen, but just an option there. Or, probably a better move for black would be knight to D5, defending the bishop that way and grabbing a nice outpost. I mean, they could sack the bishop, but it doesn't seem like the best move. I don't know. Do we maybe attack the queen? We could push the pawn that we would just capture. So if we attack the queen, where can the queen go? She could go over here. Could go here. Just thinking, maybe we reposition the bishop to pin the knight to the king. Whoops, the knight to the king for an absolute pin. I don't know why I can't draw a straight line today. An absolute pin, and then so I guess, yeah, bishop here. Yeah, so it was that move. And now we can go ahead and, I think, yeah, just go ahead and defend here. Oh, I'm not quite sure why they move. So they just go ahead and get their king out of the pin. I'm not quite sure why. It seems like it's difficult for us to bring. I guess we can play like G4. So if they played some other move, we could have played G4 and then G5. That must be the reason why. So they just give up the knight then. So bishop captures, and then queen captures. We get an extra piece. Okay. Let's hear from Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle.
Could we play bishop captures queen?
Okay, okay. So bishop captures queen. I assume they're going to play knight.
And if they capture our queen, we would capture them back with our rook.
Yeah, and then they would capture our bishop probably. I don't know, with a rook, I would guess. I'm not sure. That seems like even trades though. It's definitely good to think about. That's one of the things we want to do is you want to imagine all the different capturing moves and thoroughly think about how the position would look after the fact. But let's hear from Cheryl. She had her hand up next. Go ahead, Cheryl.
What's the topic again?
It's supposed to be pins. Yeah, we're doing pins as the topic.
I'm thinking knight takes knight, but I don't think that is a pin.
Yeah, so knight takes knight. So if knight takes knight, they play bishop takes.
Bishop takes queen.
Yeah, bishop takes queen. Then I assume then we would play bishop takes queen. So, and then we both have hanging bishops on the back rank. So the queens. So it seems like you get an extra piece. Let's see what Aiden has to say. Go ahead, Aiden.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and play that move. So knight takes. Yeah, normally the first person to capture is going to have an advantage. So we captured first, so we end up getting two pieces for the price of one. So nicely done there. Yeah, our knight seemed like it was pinned, but we could take advantage of it. So it wasn't an absolute pin. That puzzle was rated at 1770, by the way. Okay. So black to play, and yeah, it should be taking advantage of a pin, but unfortunately the tactics. Well, so their rook is pinned to their queen, which is interesting. Boy, this is an awkward looking position. Black to play. Let's hear from Thomas. Go ahead, Thomas.
Maybe bishop c4.
Bishop c4 check.
Oh yeah, I forgot they have a knight.
Yeah, the knight would eat him. That would be a great
Yeah.
move if it wasn't for the knight. Okay.
I think it'll be checkmate.
Oh no, they would have this square as if
yeah.
the bishop moves. See what Cheryl has to say. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Bishop takes rook.
Okay, bishop takes rook. I would assume that they're going to play queen takes bishop, and then you play
Rook e7.
rook e7, attacking the queen. And what are they going to do? So their queen is sitting on e2. Seems like maybe they play queen to d3.
Nothing. I don't know why. I only thought that queen can go to f3. The only squares I can play rook e1.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, continuing to think about the position, if anybody has another idea. So capturing, captures. So the rook is pinned, unlikely to, I guess, I mean, they could always sacrifice their rook with check and then take the bishop. But, that's probably not best. I mean, you're supposed to put pressure on the pinned piece. Is it just rook e7 right away? If you play rook e7, like, what do they do about that? I don't see that they can. I mean, they could play interference here, but that doesn't do any good. We just take it. They can't get another defender on the rook, so it seems like they have to play rook takes rook, and then you can take the queen. I don't know. Let's hear from Kyle. Go ahead, Kyle.
I would agree with the thing you just said.
Okay. Let's go ahead and play that move. Let's play rook to e7. Yeah, and so they go ahead and capture us because they couldn't bring up another defender. So yeah, we would go ahead and take the queen there, and I guess we don't have a lot of. I'm like thinking, what do we do here? What do we do here? I'm guessing we do the only move we can do. That's the only legal move in the position. So a bit scarier here, but our bishop is helping us out. We got a rook, so yeah, it should be safe. We got two bishops and a rook versus a knight and a rook, so definitely should be a winning position. Probably just time for one more. That one was rated at 21-23. All right, black to play and take advantage of a pin here. Last puzzle of the day. I almost want to play knight captures g4 just because they have to, if they take it with their king, which it seems like they have to do, otherwise they're going to lose the exchange. Then we have pawn to h5. Is it this crazy move? So if knight captures, if the king doesn't capture, we win the exchange. So let's just imagine if king does capture. I mean, we could play pawn here check. Seems awfully dangerous. Their rook could just capture. I mean, what other knight moves are there, though? I guess I'm going to go with it. So it was the move I thought of in the first place, but now, is it bishop here maybe is best? So now we do have this bishop is pinned. Well, our king is safer. I almost feel like going ahead and sacrificing the rook. Then if pawn captures, bishop captures. But they could capture our pawn here.
Then we could just play queen d4. Right?
Yeah. So it is the bishop move. So we play the bishop sack.
Yeah.
And
The bishop sack.
Well, now we can play this pin. I think this must be it. Now we play this pin here and win the queen. So we're pinning the queen to the king. So they had to do that, and now, we have some sort of an advantage here. They were probably going to play rook here. Um, so it's not. That was a hard one to see because it wasn't like a super winning position. Anyway, let's go ahead and
This
call
is
that.
queen versus two rooks endgame.
Yeah, not a necessarily easy end game to play. But let's go ahead and call that for tactics for today. Thank you for checking that out with me. And like I said, you can actually check out more of my tactics. You can check out game reviews on my YouTube channel. So yeah, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. All right.